How's it going, Oaks? Welcome back to the Fight Scene YouTube channel, and it is my favorite day of the week because it is betting video time. I love making these videos, I love doing the research, and I love seeing if these things hit. So today we're just going to keep it straight bets, what my favorite straight bets are, or singles for this weekend, and then one little surprise at the end. But yeah, Oaks, you must make sure to follow my Instagram because all my bets will be up there probably on like Saturday evening before the fight starts on Sunday morning. So yeah, that's where I'll put up some parlays, and all my finalized bets will be out on my Instagram before the fights, because these are currently ones I'm thinking are looking good, but obviously, you know, as you get closer and closer to fight time, new things spring up, and sometimes you think, oh, this one doesn't look so good. So yeah, follow my Instagram, make sure you see all the finalized bets, but these ones are looking pretty good, Oaks. So let's just get into it and chat about them without further ado. So our first one in Brian Battle against Nursultan Ruziboyev. What I've gone for here is Brian Battle by KO at 6.2 to 1. The reason I'm going for this, because many of you might think, okay, you know, Ruziboyev he's only been knocked out once, and that was early in his career. So he's never been knocked out in the UFC. Obviously, he's got a chin on him, and he's got hands as well. But the thing about Brian Battle is he's such a pressure fighter. Once he senses a bit of a finish, once he senses you're hurt, he just keeps going. He's relentless. And I really do see a world in this fight in the second or third round where Battle just starts pouring it on and hurts Ruziboyev and gets a TKO victory, not sort of not a walk-off KO kind of thing. I think he'll TKO him in the later rounds. And at 6.2 for a guy like Battle, I think that's some pretty decent odds. So yeah, Brian Battle, KO 6.2. Then in the Chase Hooper against Alexander Hernandez fight, this is probably a bit of an obvious one, which is Chase Hooper by submission at 3 to 1. I'm surprised it's at 3 to 1, to be honest, because Alexander Hernandez doesn't have the greatest ground game, and obviously Chase Hooper is extremely dangerous with his submission threat. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good line. Honestly, I don't see this fight finishing any other way besides like a Chase Hooper finish. I think that's going to be a good a Chase Hooper sub. I think that's a good prop to go for. Maybe he, you know, just grinds out a decision, working Hernandez on the ground, maybe a bit on the feet. But I don't know. I like a Chase Hooper submission. Then Gerald Meerschaert against Michal Olejniczak. Oaks, this is probably my favorite fight because I've got 3 different kind of bets, and they are all GM3. So the first one we have is just straight GM3 money line as the underdog at 2.7 to 1. Oaks, I just don't think Olejniczak is that good, to be honest. I think he's kind of buns. Now, the reason I've gone for money line on GM3 just because that's a bit of a safer bet. Then a bit more dangerous, still safe, is GM3 by submission or on points. You can get that at 2.95 to 1. Then, probably my favorite one is just going for the GM3 sub at 5.2 to 1. The reason I'm going for GM3 sub is Olejniczak has been subbed 6 times in his career, including by Michel Pereira and Kevin Holland. And GM3 is definitely better on the ground than those two, in my opinion, with his submission threat. Obviously, Kevin Holland and Pereira are still decent, but I don't know. I think GM3, he's just known for his submission game. So I very much so see a world in which GM3 is submitting Olejniczak. I don't think Olejniczak is going to knock him out or anything like that. Maybe, but I can see a GM3 sub, and at 5.2 to 1, you've got to be thinking about that. Then we'll move on to King Green against Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira KO 3.2 to 1. King Green does not have a chin anymore. I just don't think he has it in him to knock out Ferreira to win this fight. I think he's going to get KO'd, unfortunately for Bobby. I just think that's the way this fight's going to go. Maybe I'll be wrong, but yeah, Diego Ferreira 3.2 to 1 KO. And then our final, or no, not our final, but another straight bet is Kai Asakura KO 2.55 to 1. This is quite a favored prop this week. I think a lot of Oaks think Asakura is going to finish Tim Elliott, and I am one of those Oaks. So Kai Asakura KO 2.55 to 1. Then couple straight underdogs to finish us off is Lerone Murphy at 2.36 as an underdog. Oaks, honestly, there is probably a 95% chance that Lerone Murphy point fights against Pico and gets the decision win. I can very much so see Lerone Murphy just sticking and moving like he did against Emmett, trying to avoid being in the pocket, taking big shots. Pico might try mixing the wrestling, but I don't know. I think this could be another, welcome to the UFC moment for a Bellator fighter. So I do see Murphy point fighting and winning this one. I'm going to be voting for Pico, but betting wise, I think Lerone Murphy is probably going to point fight this one and win a decision. So stick it on Murphy as an underdog. Even you could stick it on Lerone Murphy to win by decision, which is 3.15. So you can get a bit more because he's not going to finish Pico. So if you want to go for Murphy, I'd say go for decision. And then to finish off, our final underdog is, of course, DDP. He is my underdog of the week on Betway. He's currently 3-1, and he is a former champ. So at odds like that, you can't just pass up that opportunity, and I also think he's going to win. Oaks are divided on it. I don't really give a shit. I think DDP is going to win. I hope he wins, and he's ready to shock the world. So yeah, 3-1 Oaks. Oaks don't want to take that because they don't like Drickus for whatever reason. But if you want to use your brain, anytime a champion is at 3-1, how the fuck can you not be putting money on that? A champion who's defended his belt more than once, and you're not going to put money on that? Nah, you have to. You have to, Oaks. So that'll wrap up the last straight bet. And then because you have to throw in a cycle parlay. Shout out Matty Betts. I love my cycle parlays. It's always just fun to throw down one for some ridiculous amount of odds and put a little bit of money on it. So MVP decision, Kai Asakura by KO, and then Chase Hooper by submission. I don't have that with me here with the odds right now, so I'll put them up on the screen. But yeah, Oaks, that's my cycle parlay. I mean, MVP by decision should be a lock. Obviously, Kai KO, Chase sub, we'll see. But yeah, I think it's a fun little cycle parlay. And that'll wrap it up, Oaks. That'll wrap up my sort of early outlook into the bets for this weekend. Like I said, make sure you're following my Instagram so you can see all my final bets. Because, Oaks, we went positive last week. So I'm hoping to do the same again this week. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll check you in the next one.